Hey everybody, it's Pat. I'm going to have a interesting video tonight to let you know what's going on with the other camper van that I've started to build on and why I haven't started building on any more of it. So let's get started. Last fall and last year I made a few videos and try to put the current camper van I live in up for sale, and to be honest, it just hasn't worked out. So this spring, once I get closer to building the other camper van, I think I'm going to take my current van and just sell it to the RV dealership. I've got one here in town that might be interested in it, but they're not for sure. I've got one in Oklahoma that would really like it, so we'll see how that goes later. But the reason why I haven't been building on the other van lately, or posting anything really about it, is because last November I had to hire an attorney to take care of some problems I'm having with some property I own in Texas and a fencing contractor, and it just got really messed up really quick. So all my money went to an attorney basically, and we're still playing that game. So that's why the camper van hasn't had much done to it, and I do apologize for that because I know I keep bringing it up in the videos. But I figured tonight I would let you know what my goal was for that van, and we'll go from there. So the other van that I bought it last, let's see, it was August or September, and the goal was to take everything out of the back and turn it into a camper van. So I kind of made my plans on what I thought needed to go into it. So I'm going to explain that now. And if you guys want to put your input on what you think would be good for a camper van build and what wouldn't, and we'll go from there. Of course, all the basics, my basics, they may not be yours, but they're my basics, have to be met, and that will have to be a toilet of some kind. I don't think I'm going to try to put a shower in it, because honestly, room's a premium in that one because it's not an extended van like the one I'm in now. So I do want a toilet. It has to have a sink. It has to have a stove. Well, I take that back. The stove, not so much, but it would be nice to have it on some occasions, because the stove I have now I don't use all that much. To be honest, I tend to use the microwave more, but I don't know if I'll be putting a microwave in the new van. So, okay, I'm getting off track, but okay, we'll have to have a sink, a possible stove, battery bank. I'm going with, right now I say I'm going with AGM batteries, because the batteries will probably have to be stored inside the living area. And from the research I've done on the AGM batteries, you don't need to really vent them like conventional lead acid batteries, because the AGM batteries, for one, they're completely sealed. You can actually lay AGM batteries on their sides or hang them upside down and they'll still work. So a lead acid battery, you can't do that. And a lead acid battery, when you charge it and when it discharges, it produces toxic fumes that are also flammable. So you wouldn't want that in your living area, because you would probably end up dying, and that would suck all the way around. So I'm looking at the AGM batteries. I would like to buy 4 of them, and in the battery group sizes, I've been looking at I believe the 30s or the 31s, whatever the largest one they build is. And honestly, at that size, each battery is going to run roughly $300. I might be able to get it down a little bit more than that if I buy offline, but that's yet to be seen, because I'm building it local, and at least the local guys here, if something happens, I don't have to try to ship them somewhere else, you know. That's where I'm going with that. I've got a refrigerator picked out. It's a Dometic portable refrigerator. It's about $360, $370, which I went with that because it's 12 volt or 120 volt. And honestly, it will probably always be ran off the battery bank. That's why I want the battery bank as large as I can get it. And right now, the 4 batteries is, I think, my max, mainly because of the weight. Because each one of those batteries is about 75 pounds. So take that times 4. It's quite a bit of weight. So I've got the Dometic refrigerator. I've got the toilet I'm going to use is also a Dometic that I've got picked out. I'll be using a power inverter to run small things, for instance, like for the charger for my laptop, my cell phone. I will use it for my oven. I've got a New Wave convection oven. It's the mini one. It's not the big huge one, but it's the mini one. And it only draws 6 amps. And to be honest, the longest I've ever run the oven, even being plugged in, is maybe an hour. I don't think I've used it any longer than that in one setting. So I'm not real worried about it sucking my batteries dry. Yes, it could happen if I got carried away, but that could happen regardless if you had a 4 battery bank or if you had a 400 battery bank. If you let something run long enough, it will suck it dry. So I don't want to hear complaints about that because I'm well aware of it. So I am still debating on maybe putting a small microwave in. That's not a done deal on any means, but I'm looking at it. And then that would bring into the equation, if I put in a microwave, why don't I just buy a convection microwave and get rid of the mini oven? So there's a lot of those little games I'm playing with myself on what I want, what I don't want, so on and so forth. And someone's brought up, will I be putting a shower in the new van? No, I probably won't be, due to the fact that the van I'm in now is an extended van, so I get that extra 2 to 3 foot on the back of it. On the new van that I'm building, it's not an extended van, so space will be at an extreme premium. So I don't think I'll be making an enclosure for a shower stall, if you will. Like I said, those are some of the rough basics of what the new van needs to have for me. And of course it will have to have storage. It will have a closet. Okay, if you want to think about it this way. I'm going to kind of build it sort of like a Westphalia on the inside. And no, it's not going to have the pop-up top. I'm not going that route because that's just way too expensive at this point in the game if I want to do everything else. But if you know what a Westphalia is, or Westphalia, depends on what part of the country you're from and how you pronounce that, the layout's going to be kind of like that. So in the driver's side, rear end, there will be a closet. Then the stove and the countertop will be on the driver's side, behind the driver's seat, on back until it hits the closet. The pull-out bed will be on the other side, on the passenger side basically. If, like I said, go look at some pictures of that if you don't know what a Westphalia is, or Westphalia is. That will give you some ideas. And I know a lot of people will suggest, and they already have, that I go to West Coast campers and I just have them design me an interior and I slap it together. And that's fine if I wanted to spend $7,000 or $8,000 just for the interior. I think I can have it done quicker and cheaper with local help. And I think I've got someone to help me build this when his schedule frees up, but I'm not 100% sure yet, because he says he'd be interested, but then I can't get him to nail down on a specific time or date. So if it works out, that's great, and if it don't, that's great too. I'll just start puttering along when I get to that point. So, okay, that's where I'm at and what I'm wanting to do. And I want to add this, and I know it's probably going to sound tacky, but I'm going to add it anyway. Some of you may have noticed I've tried to monetize, or how do you say that? I've added commercials to my YouTube channel. How's that? Yay! But the problem is, in order for me to get paid for those commercials, regardless if you guys click on them or not, according to AdSense, I need at least 1,000 subscribers, and I have nowhere near that. None whatsoever. I have like 15. Yes, as sad as that is, because I've had this channel for over a year, I've got like 15 subscribers. And if you watch this and you find it interesting, or at least a bit humorous or whatever, please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Maybe they'll subscribe, and so on and so forth. But I could really use all the subscribers I could get, because if I could pull in some money off this channel, it would help me with the build of the new camper, which would be great. Because the whole idea of this was to get rid of the bill on this camper, because I still owe money on it, and move into a camper that's pretty well paid for. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So that's the plan, boys and girls. For better or for worse, like I said earlier, send me some input. What would you like to see? What would you not like to see? Would you like to see more tours of my current van? I've done that a number of times, so you can find those on my website, my YouTube site. Or if you'd like to see something totally different, let me know. And until then, thank you, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.